Mammograms, as we all know, can save lives, but CBS News has learned in some cases insurance companies are refusing to cover them. We first looked back into this in October for our series Medical Price Roulette. It's a collaboration with Clear Health Cost. And after that story aired, we heard from hundreds of women, including some who got surprise bills for hundreds of dollars. Our consumer investigative correspondent, Werner, is following all of this. Anna, good morning to you. What did you learn? What did you find out?
Yeah, that's right, Gayle. Hundreds of women wrote to tell us they could not afford the follow-up tests their doctors had ordered, like additional mammograms, ultrasounds, and MRIs. We even heard this from women who survived breast cancer, like the one in Pennsylvania you're about to meet.
Roseanne Neal fought breast cancer and won.
Come on, Lori.
But this 52-year-old single mom says for the past year, she's been fighting her insurance company and losing.
I felt that I was being penalized for having breast cancer.
The cancer occurred in 2015. Since then, she's had annual diagnostic mammograms paid for by her insurance. Then last year, she switched jobs, and in October,
I went in, got the mammogram, and then about a month later, I got a bill for over $900.
Over $900.
$900.
Her insurance company, Aetna, had refused to pay.
They said, no, that we don't cover diagnostic mammograms. I said, but I had breast cancer. Why wouldn't you cover this if I had breast cancer?
The Affordable Care Act requires insurance companies to pay for regular screening mammograms for women with no out-of-pocket costs. But because she's a breast cancer survivor, Neal says her doctor told her she needed what's called a diagnostic mammogram, a similar test that's read more quickly every year for 5 years after her cancer treatment. So Neal appealed to Aetna.
You literally told the insurance company, I do not feel it is fair to be penalized for having had breast cancer.
Yes, and I told them that verbally. And again, when I told them verbally, there was no response. We're just not going to pay this. So there was no negotiation, there was no discussion, there was no argument. It was, this is the way it is, have a nice day.
In this letter, Aetna told Neal her claim was processed correctly, that Aetna does not consider the specific test as part of the standard routine testing.
Oh, how do you feel about that?
Angry, very angry. I feel that it's very unfair that someone who has had breast cancer, who's following the protocol that the doctor is prescribing, is not being covered for preventive maintenance, really.
Neal is one of hundreds of women who have shared their mammogram pricing stories with CBS News. One wrote she feels punished for being a survivor because of the astronomical costs. Another said she skipped her mammogram this year, saying, I cannot afford to have this happen again.
It's really creating a significant barrier to care.
Molly Guthrie is with the Susan G. Komen Foundation, which is pushing lawmakers to get all breast cancer screening tests covered.
We want the diagnostic testing that a physician feels their patient should have, that the patient can have access to that without cost sharing.
Without any cost to the patient. Correct. So that means diagnostic mammogram, ultrasound, MRI? Mm-hmm. Any of those?
Right.
So far, bills have passed in 5 states.
We've seen women discriminated against for a long time in health care.
Congresswoman Debbie Dingell is co-sponsoring federal legislation in the House, but so far there are no Senate sponsors.
We need to make sure that every woman has access to the tests she needs to know if she's got breast cancer.
As for Neal's over $900 bill, after CBS News contacted Aetna to ask about her case, it reversed course, saying, we mistakenly did not apply the appropriate policy when Ms. Neal appealed. We apologize for this mistake. Neal says she doesn't believe it.
So why do you think they do it?
Greed, the money. It's all about money. Bottom line.
Aetna told us it will now reprocess Neal's claim and reimburse her for any out-of-pocket costs. We asked whether any other women were affected by that mistake, but were told no, that Aetna believes this is an isolated issue. But if you have a story to tell us about Aetna, mammograms, or other medical prices, any of them, go to cbsnews.com/health costs or email us at healthcosts@cbsnews.com. newscast.com. We want to hear your
Such a great series, and it clearly pays to raise the issue, to
challenge.
email, because how many times do we do these stories and you hear at the end, oh, now the insurance company's coming to the table,
Well,
they're going to take another look at
here's the thing.
it.
She says she appealed actually 3 times through 3 levels of
Three
Aetna,
times?
and
Wow.
her company HR department even went to them. So, after we contacted them, now it's a mistake. But her pursuing it on her own didn't work.
That's why
Yeah.
she doesn't believe what they're saying.
Yeah, it's
That's
so frustrating. You pay and pay and pay your insurance bills, and then when you need them, there's 50 million reasons why they can't help you. Well, I'm glad they took another look after a call.
Yeah.
All right, Anna, thank you very much.